So normally I go, oh man, I wish I did something creative today, but then it's the end of the day and I didn't. But yesterday I didn't because I spent 15 minutes hanging out and just creating. So this is day 2 to keep that momentum going. So we're going to spend 15 minutes just hanging out. I really hope you join me and grab, a piece of paper and a pen. You could grab your crochet equipment. It just sounds like lacrosse. Grab whatever supplies you need for whatever creative endeavor. And we're just going to sit in the same space, hang out, and create for 15 minutes. So I'm going to put a little sign up. When you see that, pause the video because that'll be the time where you can go grab your supplies, grab a drink if you want one, and then get cozy. And then once you're all settled down and ready to go, press play, and then I'll start a timer for 15 minutes. And by the way, hi, I am Melanie. I am a dog walking cat lady, but really I'm just trying to find wonder every day in the right now. And I think we find that usually through creativity, community, and nature. So let's do that together. And in fact, it's so bleeding hot outside. I live in Arizona that I'm going to be bringing nature inside today and bringing in this aloe plant that was growing outside and I had planted actually a couple months ago in a pot. So get ready to pause the video so you can get ready and let's hang out together. Let's do this. Commit to 15 minutes of just being chill and hanging out. All right. Okay, get ready to pause in 3, 2, 1. Pets and plants. This is why all my plants generally are like actually up on hangers so the cats can't get to them. This one normally is right over there. Um, yeah, and Jackie can't get to it. I know, life's hard. Anyway, I got all my things. I've got my little lap desk. I've got watercolors for me for coloring, so use whatever you like to use. And pad of paper. And then I'll use a pen for most stuff. A pen and a brush. Okay. So let's get this going. 15 minutes before I share. So the prompt is to kind of draw a plant, sketch out the plant, but most importantly, name it and then write the name. Like have fun making the name really big. So the plant's going to be there, but the big part's going to be the name. So let's see. 15 minutes on the clock. Let's do this. I'll set it right there. Okay. So let's get into the zone. I don't want to draw upside down in my sketchbook. What kind of plant? I've killed aloe plants. That's how difficult it is for me to keep different things alive. Let's see. Let's get a closer look. But this one seemed to be growing in my backyard out of its own free will, and so I brought it inside. And it's doing okay. So it's a survivor. Its name could be related to that. Mm-hmm. Oh, the name's not coming to me, so I'm just going to draw a little bit. We'll see if the name comes from that. So I'm going to leave space on the bottom for the name. This is one thing that is, I feel like we are so emphatic about knowing exactly what we're doing or having everything planned out, which I have a lot of perfectionist tendencies. It would be an understatement, actually, to say that. But I find that, and from personal experience, the most improvement or fun or excitement or memory worthy moments have been unplanned. And so giving some time for us to just like us to hang out and just let something happen. Um, so I'm not gonna, I didn't come in with a plan for the name of this plant. I am genuinely coming in and dabbling with you. In the process, might illuminate a name. I think that's actually something that there's, I know AI is a very contentious topic, but there's a lot of good conversations that I think have come out of AI. And one of them is this idea that, well, like we could just have AI make a really cool, art piece of some sort, and it can make it in just a couple seconds. And that ability is very disarming, but also it adds importance. Like you go like, that feels weird. And I'm not going to say it's necessarily wrong. I'm not the one who can make the judgment on that. I don't know who is, but like, but my gut feels like that's icky. That's gross. That we would just turn just to that. Maybe there's purpose and reason to do that periodically for some reason, but like overall, if that was like, oh, let's just default, that's gross. That's just icky. And so why does that feel icky? And there's a lot of reasons, but I think one of them is just like the process is gone. And there's something so cool about the process, about knowing that somebody took the time to come up with whatever that creative endeavor was. Um, and then personally, like I could make it like time is such a precious commodity, so I understand the desire to find a shortcut, but to sit and make it on your own, like we're committing 15 minutes right now. That's huge. That's actually it's such a small part of the day, but it's hard to do. And for us to do that, we are committing time for ourselves and for a part of our needs as a human being, which humans I think are very creative. Like we need creativity, we need community, we need to be in nature, we need these things to be fulfilled. And so AI just kind of erases that. It allows for more time maybe to do some of those other things, but you don't have the memory associated with it. Like honestly, this plant has been in my house for a couple months now. Took it from outside, and it just like I put it up and kind of forgot about it. But now I'm spending time with this plant, which needs a name still. And AI couldn't do that for me of just like creating a memory of time and noticing, like I never really noticed how on aloe plants they have these spikes, but they're not that spiky, but they're on the sides of like the leaf. Oh, I should know this. They're on the sides. Like I feel like you think of a cactus or something and just like spikes. But their location of their little pseudo pointy bits, it's just like a weird spot. Weird spot. And I never noticed that before. I always am intending to name something Blanche because that's like the coolest name ever. But this is definitely not a Blanche.
Hey, Eli, why don't you stay over here, buddy? My dog is about to go on a Bork Fest because I heard a car come down the street. Come here, buddy. The little big good boy. Yeah. This is Eli. He's my rescue buddy, and he's very anxious. We're working a lot with him. All the dogs and kitties here are rescues. And they all have very interesting backgrounds, we'll say. And now they are pampered like nobody's business. Oh ho ho! Speaking of pampered, if you come in and start eating, by the way, I figured out a name. So the way I named this plant was at first I was like, oh, it feels like this plant should start with an I. So I started drawing an I, and then I realized oh no, now I have to name it something with an I. No, oh, if you start eating, I'll give you a chance. Nope, no eating. No eating my plant. That so there's I there's all these books like Ishmael is just such a noble name. Call me Ishmael, talk about one of the greatest first lines from Moby Dick. Um so like does Ishmael, do they always have to go like, oh, that is my official name? Or is there a nickname? So I'm gonna call this plant's name is Ishmael, but I'm going to call it Ishmi. Ishmi. So I wonder if Ishmael ever had a nickname.
Speaking of dabbling, that was something that I read that book. I read all of um, Moby Dick back in the day, which it is a very it's a lengthy book. Uh, but it is a very good book. I see why it's such a legend. Mm, I also, so many good things came out of that. I think that's another really neat, and this is another communal aspect I think of art is so much really great art. It wasn't the original idea, but it builds and builds. So one of my very favorite books is by Ray Bradbury. It's called Green Shadows, White Whale, and it's about him writing the screenplay for a movie adaptation of Moby Dick. And he went to Ireland and stayed there for a while in order to write. And it's just like, what a cool concept. And so he just shared his stories from hearing things in the pubs and then his process of writing this Hollywood movie. It was just a lovely, lovely story, lovely book, and if the book Moby Dick was never written, that wonderful book never would have been written either. So all these things build and build on each other. So whatever we make might have an impact on somebody else, even if we don't think it's necessarily a huge endeavor. I mean, Moby Dick was a huge endeavor because it's a giant book. Ishmi. Ishmi. Hi, Ishmi. How's it going, buddy? Let's see. I'm going to color this like a yellow. Put some yellow in here. And it's 15 minutes. We did it. Day 2. We have been creative again for 15 more minutes. Congratulations. Pat on the back. Pat on the back. Ooh, a little scratch behind your ears, and I'll give you a little pat on the back. So, like last time, to bring this full circle, I would love it if you posted whatever you made, because I'm recording this and I haven't actually gotten to close the loop and make this a true community endeavor until you post back. So until then, I'm just sharing this out to the nowheres, but I will take a picture of what I made and put it up on my Instagram and TikTok. And then if you do the exact same thing and we tag it with hashtag day 2 dabblers or whatever I'll put it on the screen. And that way we can share with each other and make this a real connection. And I very much so would like that. And I'm so thankful you spent some time with me. And Ishmi, look how cute Ishmi is. Ishmi's gonna have a great day. I'm gonna water Ishmi and Ishmi will be very happy. And I hope I get to see you tomorrow. We'll do something else, a different prompt. And then also, if you have tips on what to wear or how to be fashionable for the bottom half of something that's like awkwardly like length shorts, please let me know because I am at a loss with that. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Now go say hi to somebody else and make their day just a little bit better. And yeah, have a great day. See you tomorrow. Oh, okay, let's see if I can get out. There's gonna be so many noises. Oh God. Ugh. See, like I don't know what to do with this. It's too short, but like my shorts are, I don't know what to do fashion-wise. Help me out. Help me out.